Hey budgetly living family, welcome back. This is your channel for exploring all 50 states affordably, with history, culture, and unforgettable experiences along the way. Today we're heading to one of the most important states in American history, Massachusetts. When people think of Massachusetts, they think of Boston baked beans, clam chowder, or maybe the Red Sox. But this state is so much more. It's where the Pilgrims landed in 1620 and founded Plymouth Colony. It's where the American Revolution ignited, where Concord's shot heard round the world sparked a global fight for freedom. It's home to some of the world's most famous universities, including Harvard and MIT, where ideas that shaped modern science, technology, and culture were born. And it's where the Atlantic Ocean meets rugged shorelines, sandy beaches, and fishing villages that inspired generations of writers and artists. Massachusetts is often called the spirit of America, and not just for its history. From the Berkshires' autumn leaves to Cape Cod's summer sands, from Harvard Square's brainy energy to Rockport's artistic charm, this small state packs an enormous cultural punch. And the best part? You can explore it without breaking the bank. In this video, I'll guide you through the top 10 budget-friendly places to visit in Massachusetts, each packed with history, culture, and practical budget tips. We'll cover everything from revolutionary battlefields to seaside lighthouses, from pilgrim landmarks to island ferries. Stick around until the very end for 3 insider hacks to save even more money, plus a 3-day Massachusetts itinerary that ties all these highlights together. Let's dive in. Number 1. Boston Freedom Trail. Walk the birth of a nation. Historical and cultural significance. Boston is where the American Revolution took root, and the Freedom Trail is the most budget-friendly way to relive it. This 2.5-mile path, marked by red bricks, winds through 16 historic sites that shaped America's fight for independence. You'll start at Boston Common, founded in 1634 as America's oldest public park, where colonists once grazed cattle and British soldiers camped before marching to battle. From there, follow the trail to Faneuil Hall, called the Cradle of Liberty, where fiery patriots like Samuel Adams rallied crowds against British rule. At the Old State House, stand where the Boston Massacre erupted in 1770, an event that shocked colonists and stirred rebellion. Further along, you'll find Paul Revere's house, the oldest remaining structure in downtown Boston, where the silversmith planned his famous midnight ride. At the Old North Church, you'll hear the story of lanterns hung in the steeple. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Finish at Bunker Hill Monument, where colonists proved they could stand against the world's most powerful army. Walking the Freedom Trail is like stepping into a living history book, and the majority of sites are free to explore. Budget breakdown. Walking the trail, free. Boston Common and Public Garden, free. Paul Revere House, $6 to $8. Old State House entry, $14 to $15. The street food lunch near Faneuil Hall, $10 to $12. Estimated total, $15 to $30 per person. Travel tip. Download the free Freedom Trail app or join ranger-led tours for added context. And wear comfortable shoes. You'll want to walk the entire route. Number 2. Salem. Witches, Wharves, and Maritime legends. Historical and cultural significance. Just north of Boston lies Salem, infamous for the 1692 witch trials that saw 20 people executed and hundreds accused. Visiting Salem means more than spooky shops. It's an exploration of Puritan life, fear, and justice. The Salem Witch Trials Memorial and the Old Burying Point Cemetery tell stories of those tragic events in sobering ways. But Salem is not just about witches. In the 18th and 19th centuries, it was one of America's richest seaports, sending ships to China and India. The Peabody Essex Museum, one of the oldest in the U.S., houses treasures brought back by Salem merchants, from Chinese porcelain to Indian textiles. Walking down Derby Wharf, you'll see the customs house where Nathaniel Hawthorne worked before writing the Scarlet Letter. Today, Salem balances its haunted reputation with a vibrant arts community. Quirky shops, galleries, and street performers keep the atmosphere lively. Visit in October and the town transforms into a Halloween capital, though prices rise with the crowds. Budget breakdown. Witch Trials Memorial and Historic Walking, free. Peabody Essex Museum, $20 to $25, optional. Local chowder or sandwich, $10 to $12. Ice cream on the harbor, $5 to $6. And estimated total, $15 to $30 per person. Travel tip: visit outside October for lower prices and easier access to museums. If you must go during Halloween season, book lodging months in advance to avoid premium costs. Number 3. Cape Cod National Seashore, dunes, lighthouses, and salt air. Historical and cultural significance. Cape Cod is a summer icon, but beyond its resorts lies the Cape Cod National Seashore, preserved in 1961 thanks to President John F. Kennedy. Stretching 40 miles along the Atlantic, the seashore is dotted with lighthouses, shipwreck sites, and sand dunes that inspired Henry David Thoreau's writings. Walk the beaches where Wampanoag tribes once fished and gathered shellfish. Visit Highland Light, Cape Cod's oldest lighthouse, first built in 1797 to warn sailors of the treacherous graveyard of the Atlantic. Explore the Salt Pond Visitor Center for exhibits on maritime history and natural ecology. Cape Cod is also biking heaven. The Cape Cod Rail Trail, converted from old railroad tracks, runs 25 miles through forests and cranberry bogs, offering a scenic and free way to experience the Cape. Budget breakdown: National Seashore Beach Access, $20 to $25 per vehicle, day pass. Arts Cape Cod Rail Trail free. Bike rental, $15 to $20 per half day. Picnic lunch, $10 to $12. Estimated total, $15 to $30 per person. Travel tip: visit in late spring or early fall. The weather is mild, the crowds thin, and lodging prices are half of summer rates. Number 4. Plymouth, Pilgrims, Wampanoags, and America's first colony. Historical and cultural significance. In 1620, the Mayflower anchored at Plymouth Rock, where English pilgrims established one of the first permanent European settlements in North America. While the rock itself is modest, Plymouth's history is monumental. At Plymouth Patuxet Museums, costumed interpreters recreate both a 17th century English village and a Wampanoag home site, where native educators share their own traditions and perspectives. The Mayflower II, a full-scale replica of the original ship, offers insight into the Pilgrims' harrowing Atlantic crossing. Meanwhile, the Pilgrim Hall Museum, the nation's oldest continuously operating public museum, displays Pilgrim possessions, including William Bradford's Bible. Plymouth is not just about colonial life. Walk along the waterfront for free, enjoy seafood at local diners, or reflect at Coles Hill Burial Ground, overlooking the harbor. Budget breakdown: Plymouth Rock and waterfront, free. Pilgrim Hall Museum, $6 to $8. Plymouth Patuxet combined ticket, $25 to $30, optional. At clam chowder or fish and chips, $12 to $15. Estimated total, $10 to $35 per person. Travel tip: balance your visit by exploring native history. It deepens the story beyond the Pilgrim narrative and adds meaning to what you see. Number 5. The Berkshires, nature, music, and art in the mountains. Historical and cultural significance. Western Massachusetts Berkshires are a cultural treasure nestled among rolling mountains. In summer, the Boston Symphony Orchestra relocates to Tanglewood, where affordable lawn tickets let you enjoy world-class concerts under the stars. In Stockbridge, the Norman Rockwell Museum preserves the illustrator's iconic works that defined mid-20th century Americana. The Berkshires also have deep literary roots. Herman Melville wrote Moby Dick while gazing at Mount Greylock from his home in Pittsfield. Emily Dickinson, one of America's greatest poets, lived nearby in Amherst, where her homestead is now a museum. Nature lovers will find dozens of hiking trails, waterfalls, and state parks that are either free or cost only a few dollars to enter. Autumn brings stunning foliage, drawing visitors from around the world. Budget breakdown: hiking state park trails, free or $5 to $8 parking. Norman Rockwell Museum, $20 to $25. A Tanglewood lawn concert ticket, $25 to $40. Small town cafe lunch, $10 to $14. Estimated total, $20 to $40 per person. Travel tip: visit farmers markets for affordable local produce. Picnicking in the Berkshires is a highlight all on its own. Number 6. Concord and Lexington, the Revolution's first shots. Historical and cultural significance. On April 19, 1775, The American Revolution began on the village greens of Lexington and Concord. British troops marched to seize colonial arms, but local militia stood their ground. At Lexington Green, the shot heard round the world was fired. Hours later at Concord's Old North Bridge, colonial farmers pushed the British back to Boston. Today, the Minuteman National Historical Park preserves these sites. Walking the Battle Road Trail, you'll follow the path of soldiers and militia, dotted with stone walls, farmhouses, and interpretive signs. The North Bridge Visitor Center offers ranger talks and exhibits that put you in the footsteps of revolutionaries. Concord is also a literary hub, home to Louisa May Alcott, Little Women, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Henry David Thoreau, whose cabin at Walden Pond became a symbol of simplicity and reflection. Visiting these sites adds a whole new layer of cultural richness. Budget breakdown: Minuteman National Park sites, free. And ranger tours, free. Walden Pond entry is parking, $8 to $10. Deli sandwich in town, $10 to $12. Estimated total, $10 to $20 per person. Travel tip: time your visit in April around Patriots Day. Reenactments of the battles bring 1775 to life at no cost. Number 7. Lowell National Historical Park, the birth of industrial America. Historical and cultural significance. In the early 1800s, Lowell became America's first planned industrial city, harnessing the power of the Merrimack River to drive massive textile mills. Known as the cradle of the American Industrial Revolution, Lowell was home to thousands of young women called mill girls, who lived in company boarding houses and worked the looms. Their letters and protests helped shape early labor movements. Today, the Lowell National Historical Park preserves this story with operating mill machinery, canal boat rides, and restored boarding houses where you can imagine life as a worker in 1835. The canals themselves, engineered to move both water and goods, are still functional and form part of the city's historic charm. Lowell also celebrates its immigrant heritage. Waves of Irish, Greek, Portuguese, and later Southeast Asian communities came here to work, and their traditions remain in local food, markets, and festivals. Budget breakdown: visitor center and park exhibits, free. Canal boat ride, seasonal, $12 to $15. Mill Girls Boarding House Museum, $6 to $8. Street food or diner lunch, $8 to $10. Estimated total, $15 to $30. Travel tip: check the National Park Service schedule. Many ranger tours and machinery demos are free, and they bring the industrial past vividly to life. Number 8. Gloucester and Rockport. Seaside traditions and creative inspiration. Historical and cultural significance. Cape Ann is home to Gloucester, America's oldest fishing port, founded in 1623. Fishing has been the backbone of this community for 4 centuries, and the Fisherman's Memorial, a bronze statue called Man at the Wheel, honors those lost at sea. Gloucester's history inspired books like Captains Courageous and films like The Perfect Storm. Nearby Rockport became an artist's haven in the 19th century. The famous red shack known as Motif Number 1 has been painted and photographed countless times, making it one of the most iconic landmarks in New England art. Bearskin Neck, Rockport's narrow peninsula, is filled with galleries, ice cream stands, and family-owned shops. For a budget traveler, walking the wharves, visiting small galleries, and enjoying a scoop of ice cream by the ocean air, all low-cost pleasures that deliver the full coastal experience. Budget breakdown: Gloucester Harbor Walk, free. Rockport Bearskin Neck Walk, free. Maritime Heritage Center, optional, $5 to $7. Ice cream or fried clams, $8 to $12. Estimated total, $10 to $20. Travel tip: arrive in the early morning to watch fishing boats unload their catch, a free, authentic glimpse of seafaring life. Number 9. Harvard Square in Cambridge, where ideas change the world. Historical and cultural significance. Founded in 1636, Harvard University is the oldest in the United States and a global symbol of higher learning. Strolling through Harvard Yard, with its ivy-covered halls and centuries-old gates, connects you to generations of presidents, Nobel Prize winners, and cultural icons. But Cambridge is more than academia. In the 1800s, it was home to poets and thinkers like Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, whose house also served as George Washington's headquarters during the Revolution. Today, Harvard Square buzzes with energy. Bookstores, street musicians, independent cafes, and students from all over the world. Don't miss the Harvard Art Museums, where you'll find everything from Renaissance masters to Asian ceramics. Many museums offer free or discounted days, making world-class art accessible to budget travelers. Budget breakdown, Harvard Yard and Square, free. Harvard Art Museums, $15 to $20, free certain evenings. Coffee and pastry, $6 to $8. Estimated total, $10 to $25. Travel tip, look for free public lectures, concerts, and film screenings. Harvard and MIT frequently host them, and they're open to visitors. Number 10, Martha's Vineyard in Nantucket, Island Escapes on a Budget. Historical and cultural significance. While the names Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket conjure images of celebrity estates and luxury resorts, both islands are also steeped in deep cultural history. Nantucket was once the whaling capital of the world, its ships hunting whales as far as the Pacific until petroleum replaced whale oil. Martha's Vineyard is home to historic African American communities and the Wampanoag people, who have lived there for thousands of years. A day trip makes these islands accessible to budget travelers. Ferries from Cape Cod are affordable for walk-on passengers, and once ashore, buses and bikes make it easy to reach beaches, lighthouses, and quaint villages. Free public beaches let you enjoy the same Atlantic views as the wealthy, without paying resort prices. Budget breakdown, ferry ticket, round-trip, passenger only, $20 to $25. Island bus day pass, $10 to $12. E-picnic supplies from local markets, $12 to $15. Estimated total, $40 to $50. Travel tip, skip bringing your car. Vehicle ferry tickets can cost hundreds. A simple day trip by foot or bike gives you the island experience at a fraction of the cost. Bonus hacks for Massachusetts on a budget. 1. MBTA passes. In Boston, grab a Charlie card for unlimited subway and bus rides, much cheaper than parking or ride shares. 2. Museum free days. Many Boston area museums, including the MFA and Harvard's museums, host free admission nights. Plan around them to save big. 3. Eat local. Skip overpriced lobster rolls at tourist traps. Local diners serve clam chowder, fried clams, or fish sandwiches for under $15. 3-day suggested itinerary. Massachusetts on a budget day 1. Boston and Cambridge. Morning, Freedom Trail highlights. Midday, chowder lunch, $10 to $12. Afternoon, Harvard Yard and Museums. An evening, Chinatown or North End dinner, $12 to $15. Total, $20 to $40. Day 2, History and Seacoast. Morning, Lexington and Concord Ranger Tours. Midday, Salem Witch Trial Memorial and lunch, $10 to $12. Afternoon, Gloucester Harbor and Rockport Galleries. Evening, Fish and Chips, $12 to $15. Total, $20 to $35. Day 3, Plymouth and Islands. Morning, Plymouth Rock and Pilgrim Hall Museum. Midday, ferry to Martha's Vineyard or Nantucket, $20 to $25. Afternoon, Island Bus Pass, $10, free beaches and lighthouses. Evening, picnic dinner, $12 to $15. Total, $45 to $55. Trip estimate, $85 to $120 per person, excluding lodging and long-distance travel. Legal disclaimer. All travel and cost estimates are based on publicly available data as of 2025. Prices and availability may change due to seasonal demand or local regulations. Verify attraction details before traveling. Budgetly. Living is not sponsored by or affiliated with any mentioned sites. And there you have it. Budgetly Family. 10 unforgettable and affordable places to visit in Massachusetts. From Boston's Freedom Trail to Cape Cod's seashores, from Concord's battlefields to Nantucket's windswept beaches, Massachusetts proves that world-class history and culture don't have to come with luxury price tags. If you enjoyed this journey, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to support our 50 States on a Budget series. Drop a comment below with your favorite Massachusetts destination, or share a hidden gem you think fellow travelers should see. Don't forget to download your free U.S. Budget Road Trip Guide, linked in the description, packed with itineraries and money-saving tips for every state. Next stop, Michigan. where the Great Lakes, Motown music, and automotive history await, all on a budget you'll love. Until next time, travel smart, live large, and stay budgetly.